Hello, friends. How are you today? Well, it's actually night for me right now, but I have been working to put all the data together to record my next videos for like so much today. And the wonderful news is that I mentioned that I was through something very like landmark event this weekend for me. And so I spent today catching up and getting all of my images together. And so I'm ready to, I've got new videos lined up in terms of, I've got all the images ready. So I thought I would share this with you because I've been wanting to make this video for a few days. And it's about the technological effect, or that periodic lines on the chart that I call the technological effect. And what I did in this chart is I adjusted the lighting and like the highlights and things like that, just to pop it a little bit so that you can really see it. So you see these periodic lines. Well, I've done many videos on this, and we have been seeing this in the chart for some time now. In fact, it's really interesting because it used to be, going back about 2 or 3 years, we'd get no data. You know how sometimes the data in the chart doesn't show or isn't printed, or it would print and then disappear for hours at a time. And so I made a video on that, explaining that what would happen is, inevitably, when the data came back and it would be put back, very, very often the technological effect was there. I've not talked to anyone, but it was almost like they were seeing this show up and checking the data. I don't know, that's kind of what I thought. And the style of the technological effect has changed significantly over time. Right now, we're at these, periodic lines. That's where it's kind of settled down. Now, in the past, it has made some dramatic effects and patterns, or at least those were coincidentally happening when it seemed to appear. But recently, we've seen the technological effect on the chart since May 15th. Okay. And that it turned on here. Here's May 15th, and this is European dating. That's why it says 15/5. But you started to see it show up very lightly here. And this was at the eclipse. And there's something else that was happening at this time, and I had it in the videos that I did. The globalists were meeting at their big meeting in Switzerland, and the technological effect turned on. And I just thought that was really interesting. And then it's so interesting because, here, I'll show you the buildup. Okay, so this is the days after that, and you can see that it's light. You look at it, you go, okay, I think it's there. But then when you see this, you can see, yeah, it's there in the background. Okay, so here's 5/21, and then it started to really show. But the thing is that when we get these big streams of light in the chart, it covers it over. So when natural energy pours forth, it appears to not override necessarily, I wanted to say override the technological effect, but it's like the natural influence is just much stronger somehow than this technological effect, where I'm assuming is there that it's technological. So I have a playlist on this, and you can go back and check that out. Hold on, no, it really gets dark. Hold on, wait. Where is that? Okay, so there's the 24th. Okay, there's the 27th, and now it really starts to appear on the 25th. Here's the 26th. There, it's really strong, and then the 27th. And you see that even when you get the white resonance, it still like overwhelms it in terms of the imagery on the chart. Here's the chart for May 31, and you can see it's clearly in the background. Now I wanted to show you something here. Where are you? I'm looking for, there's a specific thing that happened. Okay, here it is. All right, now, I knew it was here. All right, so here's May 22nd. Now look at this, okay? You see a shift here in the blue. So here it's technological effect on the blue, and here's technological effect on the green. Well, look at this, okay? You can see here in the about the 20 to 24, 25 hertz range. You see how you get this pattern now in the technological effect. And the pattern is periodic. It's going in the channel that the technological effect is on either side of this channel. And then inside, you see these interesting designs here. And that has happened before. And it's interesting because I've often wondered what's going on there and if it's playing with our reality somehow or analyzing our reality or attempting to make insertions into our reality. I don't see it as good or bad because I think that there's positive AI and there's negative AI and there's positive technology and there's negative technology. So I don't see it as necessarily a bad thing off the cuff. It could be something, it could be monitoring. You know, it's coincidentally at a very relevant time for Earth because you have these big globalist meetings going on. Even actually in the past 7 days, that was still the case again. There was another meeting here in the big meeting here in the United States. These happen every year, but this year there's just so much more awareness about it because of all these global, because of the global control that's being attempted. Or I don't want to get into that. So I think that, you know, maybe there's monitoring. Maybe there's monitoring of some sort that we don't, you know, that's beyond our technological understanding, but maybe there's some kind of advanced monitoring that's going on. You know, maybe there's some kind of advanced manipulation of the frequencies here. And I don't know what that would create. I mean, it could be negative, could be, you know, an attempt to influence us in a specific direction, but it could be positive. It could be an attempt to free us, you know, from, these are unique patterns here. Could be natural. We don't know. But I'm going with technological effect until I see proof that it's anything different. All right, now let me show you some details here because I'd like to show you the current state. So this has been happening a lot where there's these kind of little crosshatch lines in the technological effect. And I'm talking about this section of the chart right here. I made it really big so you could see it. At other times, the lines are just completely straight up and down. It's also interesting because the technological effect goes from close to 0, maybe 1 or 2 hertz, through 4 hertz, 8 hertz, 12 hertz, and then here I'm going to take you through this all the way through 16 hertz, 20 hertz, 24 hertz, 28 hertz, 32 hertz, 36. You can see it here. So let me show you on this chart. I think I made it. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to go down here because at the higher end of the table, it can be harder to see, but you can still see these periodic lines going all the way to 40 hertz. So whatever this is, it definitely influences and affects our reality, or maybe it's just measuring our reality and assessing our reality. But it's so fascinating because I had this amazing thing happen today. I was on YouTube, okay? And I have been preparing these charts I don't know how many hours I spent working on just putting charts together today and organizing things. But then when I was watching YouTube later on, a video about where have the characters gone? They show videos that show you actors from different TV shows and then where they are now. Well, one of the actors was Geordi from Star Trek. Do you remember that? In the TV series, Geordi had this visor on. And do you know what the visor looked like? It looked like this. Literally, it was in front of his eyes and it looked exactly like this. I don't know if I'm allowed to show pictures of photos from Star Trek, so you can go and take a look at it. Look it up online, Geordi's visor from Star Trek. But it literally was a piece of metal that went across and it had these lines here. It used, I don't know, frequency and light to show to communicate images to his eyes. And then I was thinking, metaphorically speaking, what if the technological effect has always been there and it's only now that we can see it for some reason? Okay, here's a thought. Now here's another thought. What if our reality has been, what am I trying to say? What if we've been seeing our reality through specific parameters of perception that we didn't need to use? And what if those parameters now can be turned off or off and on? What if we can put that aside, see reality in a different way, experiencing reality in a different way now? And so that's what was occurring to me when I realized, this is literally what Geordi's visor looked like, these up and down lines. And I just thought that was too much of a coincidence to not mean something. And it got me thinking about the shifts in consciousness, in our conscious attitudes. And I'll wrap this up now because I just want to make this a short video on the technological effect. But I was talking to a friend, a couple friends over the weekend, and we were talking about recent revelations and how, so-and-so's friends can't see this, but other friends can, see this point of view, or they can't see what's happening, And I said, what's amazing is that I just said, they've been doing this the whole time to us. It's only now that we can see that reality is different than the lies we're being told. Because, I can look back over my life now and think of various stories that were big in the news or various attitudes that were expressed. And now I'm questioning everything. Aren't you? Now I'm looking back and going, oh my God, I bet that was one of these times where we were convinced that X was happening, but really it wasn't at all. Maybe nothing was happening. And it was all one big creation of drama that wasn't real. And when you start to think this way and realize that this could actually be true, it really at first shakes your reality. And then if you keep at it and you somehow find a way to stay sane, then I think what it starts to do is strengthen inner resolve. That's what it's done for me. My inner resolve has just gotten stronger and stronger as we've gone along. That truth is what I value. And when I say truth, I mean what's between me and God as true, what's between me and my own divinity. Because truly nothing else matters but what that divinity tells me is true. Because I rely not on man, and I rely not on my mind. I rely within on my own soul, that part of the Creator of God that is alive as a spark of divinity within me, and that truly is ultimately who I am and what is incarnated into this living human form.